A few years ago, women were allowed to enter into the infantry, but women had already served in combat.
It's very important when you're taking into consideration the cultural practices of Afghanistan, because married women are not allowed to touch men, and obviously their hair can't be shown. So to be able to actually outreach to the community and understand what's going on and try and help them better themselves and better their living situation, having women in combat bridges that gap to where you can actually reach out to the women and understand what their needs are for the community. Do they need a school? Do they need clothes? Do they need rice? Had women not been in a deployed environment, we would not have known what their specific needs were and how we could improve their life.
My sergeant looked at me and he was like, "You're the only female Arabic linguist, and I think that because of your gender and because it's a woman and child, you will be the one that goes with a civil affairs officer. You will talk them through the process of what's about to happen. You know, you're going to search their stuff that they have, make sure there's nothing hazardous. You know, we're going to bring them on an aircraft. We're going to fly them out in the middle of the night, and we're going to take them to an embassy that's going to help repatriate them with their father and husband in the United States."
The night that we come into Afghanistan by myself, you know, I had like 4 other female soldiers with me when we come in, and I guess I did not know what I was getting into. I was very unaware. So first of all, when we landed down in it, we had to do a combat land coming in because we was getting fired upon in Kandahar Air Force Base. And like these guys were getting sick and stuff, and they shut all the lights off in the airplane and just had this red light going. I had never experienced anything like this before in my life, and they did a drop land. So when we came in there, it was like the buildings were shot up and everything, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And then we got firing going on the outside. Like it was dark, it was dirty, sand, no trees, fence line. Like I was like, what am I doing here? We had rocket attacks all the time when we was there, but that first night coming in and how the firing outside, and like it was just a lot, and I was like, I didn't expect it. Like I didn't expect it like that.
When you're infantry, you know, you're on foot doing a lot of your maneuvers. We were actually in vehicles, in Humvees, so we were mobilized infantry essentially. We were doing what everybody else was doing, and you know, it was no different. We weren't doing PowerPoint, we weren't in a support function, you know, manning a desk. We were out there right alongside the armor guys, the infantry guys. I guess what a typical mission would look like, at first it was all over the place because we had 6 platoons who were going out, and so we were trying to rotate them, and they were 3-hour shifts where we would provide security or do patrolling on main supply routes. That's if we were doing the main supply route mission. So we would be 3 hours out, we would know where we're going, what we're doing, and basically we would go out and we would just be a presence on these main supply routes, MSRs, you know, to dissuade any enemy activity for convoys that were coming through, you know, either moving supplies, moving soldiers to and from, because we were about 20 minutes south of the main base in Baghdad, you know, Baghdad International Airport. So sometimes we would sit at checkpoints depending on what they wanted us to do, but we would get a brief and we would look at our vehicle assignment, go out, prep the vehicles, and then we would leave the wire. We were at an overpass over Route Senators, and we were just, you know, taking a break because we roll up and down. Sometimes we take breaks at Outstretch, and we heard this convoy, and they were taking fire on Route Senators. They were traveling east, and we were on the overpass, so we traveled west, looped around, came up behind them, and they were taking fire from the right side. And you know, you could see the tracer fires coming at you. An RPG passed in front of my vehicle, and the funny part about that was they really instilled the rules of engagement, so much so that as we were taking direct fire, seeing, you know, flashes come, RPG fire, my gunner, he's from Trinidad, he goes, "Ma'am, they're shooting at us. What do I do?" And I'm like, "Shoot back!" You know, so we start shooting back, and it was into a field, so we weren't shooting into a built-up area. It was this field that we were taking this fire from. So there's a little bit of comedy in the tragedy of everything that happens, and those were the situations that really brought a lot of cohesion to my unit, and then also to the men who were serving in the upper ranks, because they're listening to this on the radio. They see what we're being put through, and it's no different than what they were put through in their area of operations as well.